Conservative MP and Nigel Farage, the Reform MP, with regards to some of the commentary that they've made around these events in recent days.
Yes, there's been a bit of sort of a spiky debate between different Tory voices when it comes to not only Nigel Farage's comments and role, if he played any in these riots, but also in some of the rhetoric that politicians are using. So yesterday on Sky News, Robert Jenrick, former Immigration Minister, former Housing Secretary of State, he talked about how he felt it was ridiculous that people who were shouting Allahu Akbar on the streets of the UK were not immediately arrested. And that's come under fire because many people say, well, actually, that phrase is used in prayer, it's used in normal events in life. It means God is good, and therefore is not a kind of terrorist phrase in the way that some would argue Robert Jenrick was trying to make out. And then Mel Stride, one of his leadership contender rivals, came on Sky News today and essentially said he didn't really agree with what Robert Jenrick was saying, and he felt that it was a bit inappropriate for Robert Jenrick to make those kind of sweeping generalisations. We can have a listen now.
I don't think that in all circumstances that somebody shouts that term on a street in London, they should immediately be arrested. Now, that doesn't detract from the fact that where there is clear intimidation, where there is clear incitement to violence, engagement in violence, etc., that there shouldn't be a robust response. I think one element of this debate that has been skated over and shouldn't have been actually are the remarks made by Nigel Farage, for example, when the terrible incident in Southport first occurred, his suggestion that the police might have not been telling the truth about that situation, I think helped fuel conspiracy theories around what was happening, was deeply unhelpful.
Now you see there Mel Stride criticising Nigel Farage for what he felt was disinformation. Now what's interesting is he's the second leadership hopeful to criticise Nigel Farage quite openly, quite robustly. Damien Priti Patel was the first. But what was interesting is Nigel Farage hasn't backed down on that, and actually speaking to journalists earlier today, this morning, he's actually doubled down on what he said, and he said the reason that the mosque in Southport was targeted was because, and I quote, authorities didn't tell us quickly enough what the truth was. So Nigel Farage is absolutely sticking to his guns on some of the accusations around that, and therefore trying to apportion part of the blame, it looks like, to the police.
Mari Arora in Westminster for us, thank you. Austria's Interior Minister says the situation there continues to be serious. That's after 3 Taylor Swift concerts were cancelled over an alleged terror plot. 2 people have been arrested, and security officials say chemicals and explosives have been found at a suspect's house. One of the suspects has been linked to the Islamic State group. Let's get more from our arts and entertainment correspondent, Katie Spencer.
She is the biggest star in the world.